The Ent Colony by Nicholas Lacalci. 26th, Cyril, 16/5/84, HE. We land on YUNTA tomorrow, and there was a big party on the ship tonight. Mom and Dad gave me this journal and pen as a gift. It's made of paper, and it's like the hand terminal I use for school, but instead of changing files, I flip the pages. They say it's an old thing. They say we'll be using a lot of old things on the colony. But Dad told me many explorers kept journals, so I'll keep one too. The party is still happening. I can hear it through the air vents of the ship. Mommy took me to bed, but she let me feel my sister kick in her tummy before I went to sleep. I'm glad she'll be a girl like me. We can go on explorations together when she's older. Everyone is excited to land tomorrow. I hope that YUNTA is more beautiful than the metal walls around me. 9th, Velchis, 16/5/84, HE. There's so much work to do. Mom can't do much, so I help around the cabin. There's a forest near the village, and every day more logs are hauled into the town. The equipment we brought cuts them into planks or posts. It's loud and dangerous, and Dad says I have to stay away, but in a few years I can use them. Soon, everyone in the colony will have their own house. Dad says we'd never have a house of our own if we stayed in the central system. When Mom takes a nap in the afternoon, I sneak away and explore the forest. I imagine I'm a famous explorer like Sacagawea, Armstrong, or TALEETA. So far, I've found twisting rivers and some lizards under rocks. I describe the lizards to Dad, and he says they're common. Biologists found them before we landed. 12th, Vilchis, 16/5/84, HE. We discovered something amazing today. It's all anyone is talking about. I think it discovered us, but the captain is writing to the central system about it, so I figured I should write about it in my journal. I was about to go exploring when it came lumbering out of the forest. It looked like a tree with bark and leaves growing out of it, but its roots moved slowly across the dirt. The people working on the saws were scared. Some grabbed axes, others ran off for guns. It sat down at the edge of the town, its roots digging into the ground. It looked like it'd always been there. It's a little taller than the rest of the trees, and a little thicker around the trunk. Then it started humming, like the rocket that dropped us off. I wanted to be scared, but I'm an explorer, so I approached the saws, getting closer than I was supposed to, which is why I heard the tree speak. We all heard its voice in our head, like a branch rattling in the wind. It said we were hurting its forest. By then, the captain of the town had come with guns and explained we needed the wood to live. The humming stopped for a while, and my toes felt warm like I was connected to the ground like a tree. The tree hummed again and said it would show us which sick trees and dense areas we could use. Mom said she didn't hear the voice at the house. She told me to not go into the woods anymore. Dad said the creature was rare. No biologist knew it existed when they first surveyed this planet. I've started thinking of names for it, but maybe I should ask it what its name is. All mine feel silly and made up. 15th, Vilchis, 16/5/84, HE. The wooden giant comes to the village every morning and leads the lumberjacks into the woods. While they cut trees, the captain and doctor ask the giant questions. The captain has had nightly town meetings, reassuring everyone in the town that the giant isn't dangerous. The captain hasn't asked the tree what its name is yet. I keep telling Mom to tell the captain to ask, but she is tired a lot now. She says to Dad that she just wants my sister out. I still explore the forest a little bit. I hum at the trees and ask if they're awake. None of them have responded yet. 26th, Vilchis, 16/5/84, HE. My sister was born today. Mom and Dad named her Evangeline. It's a long name that's hard to spell, so I call her Eva. Everyone is excited that she's the first Yuntandan. I can hear parties outside, but the doctor said that people should leave our house alone. A lot of people were here to see my mom. She's happy my sister was born, but I can tell she isn't happy with people coming over. She gives them the same look she gives me when I'm in the kitchen while she's cooking. The town meetings are less often, but when we have them, many people complain about not having enough fuel for the winter. We have heat reserves from the ship, but we were mostly counting on the wood to warm us. I remember a story of travelers on the old world where they had a hard first winter, but the native inhabitants helped them. I hope the wood giant helps us, but the lumberjacks say they're getting less and less wood from the forest every week. 3rd, TALEETA, 16/5/84, HE. Today is our first cold day on YUNTA. Boy, is it a chilly one. That's what Dad keeps saying. It was nice yesterday. I was running around barefoot in the grass, but now I'm under the blankets writing in the living room. Mom has had me watching the fire all day, adding logs when it gets low. The flames are neat to watch, like dancers at Cinderella's ball. My room is too cold, so we're all in one room. Eva keeps crying. She's probably keeping the whole village up. Dad just said it might snow tomorrow. I've never seen snow. Maybe I can play in it or study it. I'll take notes here if it's interesting. 4th, TALEETA, 16584 HE. Snow sucks. Mom says not to use that word, but the lumberjacks use it, and I think it sounds right. Dad found me a warm jacket and boots and pants in the ship's supplies. They're all a bit big, but he says I'll grow into them, and the lumberjacks are complaining all their warm weather gear is too small. But the snow gets everything wet when it touches stuff. And if I press it into a ball like I'm supposed to, it just crushes under my hands. The lumberjacks are having a hard time finding the wood giant. Maybe he hibernates for the winter. So they started cutting down as many trees as they can, but it's harder than shitting in 0G. That's another thing they say. I don't think I should say it around Mom and Dad, though. 15th, TALEETA, 16584 HE. Based on the research surveys of this planet, the winter is supposed to stay cold until MANDLESTAT. It will probably keep snowing, too. Everyone is always tired and cold, and there are not many parties. 20th, TALEETA, 16584 HE. The wood giant came today and told the lumberjacks that they were taking too much wood from the forest, and they must stop. Dad told me this. I was stuck inside all day, sewing blankets into jackets with Mom so that the lumberjacks will be warmer. I don't like sewing. It's boring, and you miss out on cool stuff like the wood giant showing up. 11th, Vogelfont, 16584 HE. There's a big blizzard outside. The whole town is in the city hall, and we have a big fire in the fireplace, but I'm still cold. My teeth keep hitting together, and it's annoying. Eva is crying. I want to go home, to the metal ship, and not have to deal with snow or soot or sewing. I want to be able to sleep. Centauri, 16584 HE. There were no holiday celebrations, even though it's Centauri. Everyone is sleeping in the town hall now. We moved beds in and added another fireplace. Mom, Eva, and I are near the old fireplace, but it's still cold. The lumberjacks can't get more wood. The wood giant is outside our town, and he gives people headaches when they try to sneak into the forest. People talk about killing the wood giant. The captain says we're not allowed to, since it's native to the planet. 3rd, Middleton, 16584 HE. I woke up to my mom crying in the middle of night. I'm very sad. I want to go back to the starship. I'd still have a sister if we lived on a starship. 7th, Middleton, 16584 HE. The ground is too cold to bury anyone. The captain is doing something to preserve them. I don't think I want to know what that means because the captain told my dad quietly. Mom is also quiet now. The lumberjacks talk about sneaking past the wood giant, but they're too slow moving wood back. We've had to start taking down houses and burning them. No one has their own house anyway. 4th, MANDLESTAT, 16584 HE. I haven't written in a while because it is sad and boring around the village. There's a lot of work to do, and I go to bed tired. I sleep on the same bed as my mom and dad to stay warm. Lots of families do this now, but we won't have to do it much longer. It is warm today, and the snow is melting. I want to go exploring soon. I think I can sneak past the wood giant. Dad and some other lumberjacks say I might be big enough to work with the saws this year. Mom says I'm still too young, but the lumberjacks need help, and I'm tired of sewing all winter. 7th, MANDLESTAT, 16584 HE. The wood giant led us to some trees that didn't wake up from the winter today. I got to go with them. Dad came too. I tried to help where I could, but everything is too big for me. I stayed out of the way and sat near the wood giant. I asked him lots of questions about the forest and its plants and animals. I also got to ask what his name was. He didn't say anything I understood, but my head filled with the sounds of lizards chirping and water flowing over rocks. I'm glad I know his name, but I don't think anyone will be able to pronounce it. So I call him Cashew, because it sounds like a lizard chirping in river water. 24th, MANDLESTAT, 16584 HE. I talk with Cashew. Every day we go into the woods. I don't have much to do. I tie up branches and charge the saw's batteries with solar panels, but it doesn't take me much time. I told Cashew the story about my mother and Eva. Cashew wants to be called she and her now, because she has a lot in common with my mom's story. I tell Cashew that if we had more wood, then I'd still have a sister. That's what everyone in the town says about the people that are buried in our graveyard. They say colonies shouldn't have graveyards this early, and we wouldn't if Cashew had let us cut down trees. I didn't tell Cashew all this, just the bit about Eva. Cashew didn't hum to me the rest of the day. Maybe she's thinking. I hope she's not sad like my mom now. 27th, MANDLESTAT, 16584, HE. Cashew talked to me again today. She said I was the only person who loved the forest like her. I said I didn't think that was true. But she says the lumberjacks just treat the forest like it's a commodity. But I am curious and ask questions about how it works. She asks me if I can do something to stop them. I told her I'm not important enough to do that. I talked to Dad about it. I feel like a famous explorer who discovered something important, but he told me not to talk to Cashew anymore. Only the captain is allowed to. Elder's Day, 16584, HE. The captain and Cashew fight a lot now. I hear about it in the town hall, where we still sleep. We haven't gotten enough wood to rebuild our houses, and we're working to store up fuel. People are talking about getting rid of Cashew, like she's just another tree in the forest. I asked Mom if they're going to do this. I was crying, and she patted my back. Eventually, Dad explained that it's not allowed because the central system exists to protect sapient life. If the lumberjacks hurt Cashew, they'd be in a lot of trouble. Some say that they'll be in a lot of trouble next winter if they don't do it. The captain has requested researchers and extra funding that he can spend on fuel and equipment. I hope the researchers can figure out how to balance Cashew's needs and the needs of the village. 13th Stein, 16584, HE. I think we should leave. I snuck off and spoke to Cashew this afternoon and told her about the researchers. That made her scared, and I'm sorry I told her, but I just wanted to help. I didn't tell her about what the lumberjacks wanted to do, but they don't hide their feelings. I think she can tell what they want while they work. I asked Dad why we couldn't just leave, and he said there weren't many planets that humans could live on. YUNTA is special like that, and if the human race is going to survive, we need planets like this. I asked if Cashew would be able to survive here too. He said the researchers would figure something out. 15th Stein, 16584, HE. The captain announced that the researchers would be here in 2 weeks. We just got our first message from them, and the captain is sending them his notes. I asked Dad if I should send them mine. He thought the captain would be able to do it without my help. I've started typing things up on my old terminal anyway. 4th, Acretia, 16584, HE. I snuck off and told Cashew that the researchers were coming tomorrow. She was soaking her roots in a river while lizards crawled between them. She told me that I should do what I can to protect the forest. I said I wasn't that important. I wasn't a big tree like her. But she told me that there were little bugs and fungi that broke down dead trees into dirt, and that's an important part of taking care of the forest. I got back later than usual. There was a big fight between the captain and the lumberjacks outside the town hall. Mom was glad I was home, and she made me eat dinner and go to sleep early, before anything crazy happened. Those were the words she used, but crazy things always happen around here. 5th Acretia, 16584, HE. The researchers got here today. I couldn't talk to them because they were busy with the captain. I sent them my write-up on Cashew. Mom helped me with some of the spelling, and it may not be perfect, but it should show them I know a lot about her. 7th Acretia, 16584, HE. The researchers can't find Cashew. She hasn't been to the village since I last saw her. The lumberjacks are cutting as many trees down as they can. If Cashew comes back, she will be very angry. But I don't think she'll be back. I hope she found a faraway forest, maybe one we can't find, hidden away like Neverland. Thank you for watching. If you liked this short story, you might like my latest book, Path of the Bearers and Other Stories. It's a collection of my short stories, some of which have been released here on the YouTube channel, others which will only be released in this book. It's on Amazon as a paperback or available through Kindle Unlimited. There's a link to the book in the description, and it also has a link to my other books.
Hold them a little closer to your face.
There's a link to this book and my other books in the video description. I'd like to thank my patrons. Their names are on the screen right now. I appreciate you guys. You guys help make my stories and my videos a lot better. I'd also like to thank you for making it to the end of the video. If you enjoyed it, consider liking and subscribing. I have a number of other videos like this on my channel, and there are more to come. Until next time, look both ways before you step into the road.